Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother.
A machine stands in the corner. What the lieutenant doesn't say anything, but you can sense that he doesn't like you meddling with the machine. A machine stand. The lieutenant doesn't say. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning, Xxxiii accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Still no. I am contractually obliged to...
I'm afraid we had...
Now, can you please receive Xxxiii accident? Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you? Good.
The machine's keyboard is still
Hello again.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. You know, a host, A declaimer of slogans. He's a performer. Gets the people going.
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC, for short.
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Yeah, sometimes, when I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first, though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
And? What happened? Oh, man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem?
Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I dunno, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah!
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? But she's in there somewhere. Has to be. Have you tried investigating the machines? Anyway, do let us know if you see her.
Okay, so the Speed Freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Yous like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more when you were young, too. But you digress. The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out. It still feels as if this didn't quite go as it should have. But
As always, we'll be right here.
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibbity.
you see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? You and the seagull are just alike. Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became Shit City. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you. Own it. Steal hot dogs, shit in the sand, whatever it takes to keep going. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a... The reeds dance slowly around the empty trap. The traps, the locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When can we get to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. A slogan used to... All the traps are stopped now, and still no sight of... A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters. A cold... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid. Just a second. Sylvie? Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else? Anything else I can help you with, officer? 50...
In the cabin, you see a set of steering...
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable. Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How? I'm not. It's not that. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence. That I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay? It's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but... You too, sweetie. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A dream. A lie. A fool's hope, say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's raining.
We should go too.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent. The door doesn't. As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore. Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk, if not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing. The crust is hard. This jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? Somewhere, high above the city, a pair of seagulls trace loops through the air. They are like the bombardiers of the aerostatic brigades, gliding above a target-rich environment. All of a sudden, the bomb bay doors open, and their white glittering payload rushes to the ground. Splat, an explosion of white on a man's shoe. A curse goes up, but the birds do not hear. It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now your hands are covered in muck. Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just cop tactics, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
It's like you said, Al. Copper's coming up with this on the spot. There is no witness.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
That means absolutely nothing to me. Sounds like some made-up horse shit.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there, too.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band.
Yeah. It's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right. I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
Great witness.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why I suggest...
Even though she has excellent... You caught her off guard.
No, I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be...
Even a mod?
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually...
No, Glenn. They aren't.
This didn't change her opinion of you. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Hi again, Gendarme. You can keep it. I don't mind. I can appreciate beauty when I see it. Blend in where? A carnival. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Yes? What is it?
Yes?
Hello again, sir.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekatina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? You've made the right life choices today, sir. A plaster cast. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
Yes? I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside these frivolous side tasks and focus 100% of your energies on the case before us. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility? Fascinating. And here I believed your recent turn toward moralism was just an act. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met in the young man's apartment. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first you might need to speak with his young companion. Now, was there anything else?
The door is closed again. Nothing to do here anymore. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. Whoever lives here must be back home.
Trying to sneak up on me.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Revival Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the carabiniers marched in the place of honor. This was the happiest day of my life. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual. I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira.
The Akira operation was a 7-year campaign, during which suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Akira tribes, under the Revacholian banner.
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her.
Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar.
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes.
Yes, The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. No. It was left by heavy artillery fire. Why what? Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country. Fine. What do you want now, then? Yes. No. It was... Why what? Because that's what happens when communists hijack your... Fine. What do you want now, then?
You keep coming back.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? Too bad, officer. Kids make it all worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneak...
Everything's still cool here, officer.